Hi there, folks. Welcome back to Rich Review. So it's the last day here at the Virginia Film Festival, and I just got out of seeing the first of three films I'm supposed to see today, and that happens to be The Electrical Life of Louis Wain. And this is written and directed by Will Sharp, who is primarily known for a BBC TV director, and he brings along, Benedict Cumberbatch as Louis Wain, the maybe somewhat semi-forgotten turn-of-the-century artist. And as we see in the opening, he's running a train, and he's basically gotten moneyed by, a bull, and he was at an agricultural fair, and as the person said, asked him to ask, "What is wrong with you?" Now, what is Louis Wain primarily remembered for during this particular period of his life? Well, he drew anthropomorphic cats. Yes, he drew anthropomorphic cats. Long before YouTube popularized the cat video, he drew cats. And according to at least this movie, he helped popularize the fact that, oh yeah, cats could easily be made into pets. Of course, I would think to myself, yeah, that's probably not true. A lot of people are not exactly fans of this particular film, but I thoroughly enjoyed this film, knowing full well that 20 to 30 years ago, and that might be a little bit of a backhanded compliment, that this would be a fine masterpiece theater episode spanning roughly 2 or 3 episodes. Now, Louis Wain had 6 sisters, and apparently during his 20s, considering that his father died and they all lived with his mother, which quite frankly, that sounds really tiny for that particular house. His older sister, played by Andrea Ansbaugh, and here's the thing about most of the sisters, outside of one who is recast later on in the film because, hey look, that one has to age, most of these people don't necessarily age over the course of 40 years. They have old age makeup that, I'll be honest, don't necessarily work, although Benedict Cumberbatch's old age makeup kind of sort of works, even though he has a really weird gray hair and a weird mustache, more or less. His mother wants him to marry someone acceptable in society, and when you know who he decides to marry, well, he decides to marry their governess, Emily Richardson, played by Claire Foy. Apparently, Olivia Colman, also from The Crown from seasons 3 and 4, is narrating the film, and she provides some reasonable whimsy, if you can call it whimsy. Everyone is sort of scandalized by the fact that here's a guy in his early 20s marrying a woman in her 30s, which at least someone calls her absolutely geriatric, which, hey look, quite frankly, people married young those days, and if you didn't get married soon enough, you'd be all declared a cat lady, which I wonder if that popularized the term back then, who knows. He's hired by Toby Jones as this one particular newspaper to draw illustrations. Obviously, this is around the turn of the century when, electricity was being popularized. Now, obviously, Louis Wain here is a guy that clearly had a lot of chaos swarming around in his brain, and therefore he was constantly on the move. Frankly, after a couple of years of marriage, sadly, what happens to the Claire Foy person, that's obviously sad. And I think, quite frankly, yes, there is some joy to this film, there is some heartbreak, because let's face it, also he had no sense for business, and so therefore he didn't copyright his work, which obviously his one sister gets mad at him for it, and they have to sink deeper and deeper into poverty or in debt. Now, quite frankly, there's couple of theories as to why exactly, what happened to Louis Wain. One of which happens to be that, he was on the autistic spectrum. Another one claims he was schizophrenic. Another one claimed that, that the cat poop that constantly they have around, given the fact they have cats, might have been responsible for his madness. The film goes with the schizophrenic route, and because a lot of torture geniuses are simply like that. I think what a lot of films do show about painters, or maybe in general artists, is that they're not always appreciated during their day. Obviously, Van Gogh was never appreciated during his day, and now, quite frankly, his paintings go for millions. And then, at least at one point, later on in the film, he basically gets knocked off a bus into a coma, and then when he wakes up, basically says, yeah, I had a vision in which I saw the year 1999. Which, he's partially not far off in describing what he thought about 1999. I'm still waiting in the year 2020 for flying cars. In the end, folks, I was positively charmed by the electrical life of Louis Wain, and so, amazingly enough, I'm going to give this a matinee rating because I think people should obviously see this. And it's going to be appearing, I think, on Amazon Prime So, folks, The Electrical Life of Louis Wain. Have you seen this? What did you think? Please put everything in the comment box below here, folks. As always, folks, like, comment, subscribe, and enrich your stuff of knowledge. I'll see you next time.